All right. Good evening here. It's Thursday, June 9th, here in the evening hours, here on July 9th. And yeah, I just wanted to get an episode out. Obviously, you're going to see from the calendar, here we are on Tuesday, September 1st in the game time. So we have kind of sped ahead. The last time I left you guys off, we were uh, coming up on the trade deadline in 2026 for the Boston Red Sox. And as you can see, the team is, in a sense, kind of held relatively flat since that point in time. We'll take a quick look at a couple of stats in regards to the team as to what we kind of accomplished in the remainder of July. And as you can see, our August was a bit of a flat month. We actually closed out the month of July kind of poorly. The team struggled kind of late in the month. We were in a really good spot to have a really solid July to kind of match what we did in June with the hot stretch that we had there heading into the summer months. We cooled off heavily to finish off July. Well, we made one deal around the deadline. There just wasn't a lot of options for us to really kind of explore. So it was a bit of a struggle for us, um, in kind of in a sense as the options that we had in front of us to take advantage of. So yeah, I wanted to just kind of get you guys kind of caught up as to kind of where we netted out in July, and you can kind of see we headed into kind of the All Star, or not the All Star, the trade deadline week with a series against the Athletics and struggled there. Lost 3 of 4 against them, and then got into the trade deadline. We wrapped that up. We traded for another arm for our starting rotation, as well as kind of the back half of the bullpen as we maybe make a stretch run into the playoffs or into the playoffs. So we'll cover that deal in a minute. But there just wasn't a lot of trade options out there. Again, we were trying to make a push for a third baseman to maybe shake up the infield a little bit and give us some more senior presence. But that deal just didn't pan out. They were asking for Wilyer Abreu as part of that deal, and we were looking to get Nolan Arenado from the Diamondbacks, who is having a really good year. Contract was really nice for kind of where we wanted from a budget standpoint in comparison, especially to a guy like, um, obviously the Trout contract was huge, but he wasn't even willing to trade his no trade clause. But also Willie Adames, the shortstop for the Giants that we were looking at, um, the contract just paled in comparison. But we were offering up some a relatively decent prospect package as well as some current day pieces that had expiring contracts that I thought would be appealing to the Giants, but they were just holding tight on really wanting some top current day talent in our lineup. That just was not flying for me. It just didn't seem to make sense. So we passed up on those deals. And then you're going to see here some pretty ugly numbers to kind of start off. Obviously, the first half really of August was really rough. We lost 2 of 3 against the Dodgers. We lost 2 of 3 against the White Sox. We played the Athletics again. We took 2 of 3 from them, but then got swept by Toronto, and then lost 2 of 3 against Pittsburgh. And we were really just reeling at that point. We then got Crochet back. We began to get some players back healthy. We had some injuries that kind of bit us late in July as well into early August. We got some players back, finished really strong, winning, I think it was 7 or 8 in a row, to kind of get us close to the end of the month of August. We did lose 2 of 3 against the Yankees in Yankee Stadium. They're playing out of their skis. They pitched really well in that series. We won the first game. We beat Skubal, but then they beat us 4-1 and then 4-0. Their pitching really showed up the last 2 games. And then we've just played the one game so far to finish off August against Seattle, which is a key series for us because, again, these two teams are in the wild card hunt with us, Seattle and Baltimore. And then really, I think Kansas City, Texas, Tampa Bay is leading the division yet in the American League East, but that's a little tough, or getting tighter now with the Yankees moves that they made. And then we got Cleveland and Chicago. So I'm hoping in this episode we can kind of get a couple of things accomplished. I mean, we might not get through the entire month. I'm hoping to at least get through a couple of these series. We have made a few roster moves, so let's take a quick look at what we accomplished from a move standpoint. And I want to see if there is a way that I can show you what that looked like at a high level. I might not be able to easily, but let's at least show you the pitching move we made. And that was to get us Grayson Rodriguez. We can take a quick look at the history for him. He did get nicked up, just a sprained ankle. He got hurt pitching a game in late August. I don't even think he missed a start. He was hurt for 5 days, but we were able to work around that. But you can see here on July 31st, the Angels traded him to us. So the Angels are, they're in a rebuilding mode, obviously, with where they're currently at. So they dealt us for this prospect pitcher, who again, does have legit potential. Sabdell Delzine, quite the name. But again, a pretty, interesting arm, fastball, slider, changeup, has stamina. Could maybe start, could maybe be a bullpen piece. Again, not, he's a ways away potentially. Just at a 30 of 50 right now. The OSA even likes him more than our scout did, with more potential that they see in the pitching. So again, if their scout was a little bit closer to that 55-60 or even potentially even higher than that, the Angels were willing just to part with Grayson for this prospect. So we had to give up an 18-year-old who again does have some potential. We'll see how that transpires. What I might want to do, I want to see if I can maybe add him. Is there like a former prospect? I'm going to add him to the trading block from the team. I'd probably put him on a different short list. I'll probably create one down the road because I'd like to keep an eye on this guy. Maybe a year or two from now, see how he's panned out, see if anything's happened to him. But again, really potential. Has potential to be a good player. So, but we did get Grayson, and he has been really good for us. We'll take a look at his numbers. So mainly the August, obviously, because we got him on the 31st. He went 2-3 in the month. Had a little bit of bad luck in a sense. Had a 2.56 ERA. Gave us 0.6 tenths of WAR. His BABIP has come down considerably by being on our team. His home run rate's down. His hits per 9 is down. His walk rate's holding relatively stable. He is striking out far less players, so that's a little bit concerning. Is the stuff just not playing? But he's just locating better. Maybe a few tweaks with our pitching coach and staff, and things have panned out. But again, a 2.56 ERA. For the injury that we had to Tolley, this was a nice, I think, a good pickup for us to get an additional arm. It would have been nice for us to have gotten some sort of bat, I think, as well for the lineup. But again, we were trying to get the third baseman, Arenado, but they were just hamstringing us for that player. So we moved on. Taking a quick look at the standings as to where things are, we're still in third in the division. I think we might have dropped at one point to fourth in the division with the rough August that we had the first half of the month. We have, again, been turning it around lately, but you can see the Yankees, I think at one point they were, 10 games back from the division? They have closed in on that considerably. They're just 2.5 out from snagging the pennant, or being able to take the division title. And you can see the wild card race is tight. A lot of teams in contention here. Obviously, we got the series with the Mariners. They're a little bit further back than I thought, but Toronto, Cleveland, and Baltimore are right on our heels. We do have a little bit of breathing room, but again, we can't rest on our laurels at this point. We got to keep playing well and carry some momentum through the month of September here. Organizationally, we hit September, so 2 additional spots in the rosters open up for everybody to bring up some additional arms or players that they wish. We brought up Cutter Crawford, so I can't remember exactly what move it was that I demoted Crawford. I think it was probably once Crochet came off of the injured list and had a rehab, just a short term in the rehab. but we had to bring him up. I probably would have loved to maybe have kept him in AAA on some rehab assignments a little longer, but we just could not wait. The team was struggling. We weren't pitching well. We weren't hitting. We needed a shot in the arm, and so we brought up Crochet to plug that gap. And then as part of that, I did move Crawford down. He had just begun to struggle. His numbers had really dipped from his initial move, so it might have been just a little bit of fatigue settling in after coming off the injury. So we had him down in AAA, but I brought him back up. He's going to be a bullpen arm for us here as we look to finish out the remainder of September. So again, he might, depending on how he pitches and stuff, we might be able to throw him into the rotation and whatnot. We have a lot of potential there because he does have the stamina. But I kind of like his control arsenal. He's not going to be a walk the yard risk coming out of the pen. And it's not like he has awesome stuff. So it might just be enough, hey, if we can get an inning a third, maybe 2 innings out of him in a bullpen game here and there, could maybe work out for us quite a bit. So we brought Crawford up, and then for a bat, I was torn on there was a couple options down there, I thought about Bayo as well to come up, but I was like, I think I'm just going to let him ride out the rest of the season in AAA and not even mess with that. See how maybe things look once we get into spring training next year. Just allow him to kind of reset himself. Durbin, I thought about Durbin as well, but kind of the same story I thought with him is again, let's maybe see what happens in the offseason. He does have an option year left. And maybe, again, we can get him relatively cheap from a contract standpoint into next year. But he hasn't been really hitting all that well down in AAA, so I didn't really think there was a ton of reason to bring him up. But what I did bring up was Yoshida. Obviously, the contract is just crazy with him that we're stuck with. But I thought, this might be a good pinch hitter just to have off the bench to maybe come in. They bring in a righty closer. We can just have him pinch hit maybe in the late innings against a tough reliever or a closer, and maybe we get some good luck with that. He had been hitting relatively well down in AAA in 23 games, a positive OPS and WRC plus. Not much power there, but it's not like he has that anyway. But a nice 372 on base, 297 BABIP. So some potential there, obviously, with Yoshida. He's not going to be starting for us by any means. But again, maybe just a bat off the bench. So we got 14 hitters. We got 14 in the pitching rotation, or the pitching staff as well. So I think we're, in a sense, kind of set to see how September begins to play out for us. So we took game 1 of this series. Let's see if we can continue the momentum and win game 2, and we do. We are in Fenway for this series. And some nice power from the team. 4 home runs, it looks like, from the team. Contreras, Wong, Meyer, and Casas, all with home runs in relatively their early innings in that game as well to give us a pretty big lead early on in the game. Again, up 8-0 after 5. The Mariners began to chip at that, but nothing of too much concern for us. Oh, it looks like we roughed up Bryce Miller quite a bit in that game. Sonny Gray picks up his 11th win of the year in a nice strong start. Oviedo, Chapman, and again, I tried to throw out Chapman in a trade. There just wasn't a lot of offers out for him. I don't know if it was the way I was trying to just put him out there. There just wasn't a lot. I think it might have been more if I would have maybe led in with, hey, I want to get this player off your roster, and then here's Chapman. It might have worked, but when I was just shopping him around, I didn't think there was really anything of good value for us. And again, we can pick up his contract going into next year relatively cheap, so I think we'll plan on that at this point. But a nice, really efficient inning out of him. An inning pitched in just 6 pitches thrown. You got to love that. All right, let's see if we can get the sweep here. We got a Wednesday game, and we do. Excellent. So as you can see, the pitching staff is doing its thing where it's not like we're scoring a ton of runs. I mean, 6 is nice, 7, 8. If you can get that many runs a game, that's going to have you in a pretty good spot. Grayson Rodriguez here with an excellent start for us again. 7 innings pitched, 5 hits, 3 earned, 2 walks, 7 Ks. I like it. Rodriguez to Whitlock to Chapman. I really like that. A nice a nice game score out of Rodriguez with a 60. That's a good start. If you can be 60 plus, things are in a good spot. Abreu home run, Romy Gonzalez, and Casas again, back-to-back days for home runs for Casas. He's had a really nice year. Just taking a quick look at Tristan. I want to take a look at his batting stats and his splits. Again, very short amount of games in May when he came back from the injury. June, 250, 6 home runs. July, a 276 with 4 home runs, but still the 17 RBIs, 12 runs scored. Even better BABIP. And then August really probably carried our team from an offensive standpoint with a 179 WRC plus in August, 5 home runs, 15 ribbies, a 316 with a 381 on base percentage. And then here in September, with the 2 home runs and 5 RBIs so far, throwing up some nice numbers. So he has been every bit as good as we would have or could have hoped for him in coming back from the injury, with showing off that power potential that he indeed does have, a nice eye with an 11.3% walk rate. His strikeout rate's a little bit elevated, but not horrible. He does have a strong eye. It's just that he doesn't avoid the K much. But you almost kind of take that trade-off with the power that he has. So I'm excited. I mean, he has a pretty high arbitration number going into next year, but based upon what he's done for us right now at a 2-WAR clip, he's going to be worth every nickel of 5.4, 5.3 million if we can lock him up for that going into next year. So I'm really happy for what we've gotten out of Tristan Casas. All right, so this will be a pretty big series here against Baltimore. We got a 4-game set, so this is a Thursday through Sunday series. It would be excellent to take this in a big way. It looks like we are at Camden Yards for this series. Hitter's Park, I would say. Seems always like the Yankees hit really well there, so it may depend on your lineup a little bit. But again, I think with the pitchers that we got on the bump here with Suarez, Crochet, Early, and Gray, man, I'd love to take 3 out of 4 for sure. Let's just take a quick look at the standings. I want to see how things are shaping up in the wild card. We've gotten a game here. Baltimore's right there on the cusp, though, so we can't mess around too much. What's crazy, though, is every team in the American League East is a positive winning percentage. Everyone's above 500, which is just crazy. Kind of shows you how weak some of the rest of the divisions are in the American League. Yankees are still holding pat. They're still 2.5 games back of the Rays. Just taking a quick look around the rest of the league. Yeah, nothing too crazy going on. Everybody's just kind of settling into September in the stretch run. Here we go. Game 1, excellent. We take the first win against Baltimore, 7-2. They score a run in the bottom of the 9th to just tack on a run against, looks like that might have been Weissert. Crawford came in to get, 2 walks. Like what I thought he'd come in and not walk the yard, he comes in and to get 1 out, he has to throw 15 pitches and face 4 batters. Oof. Gives up a hit and 2 walks. Goodness. Weissert, it looks like they were going to try to close it out with Weissert. He got hurt. Something with the upper body. I'm not pumped about that. I mean, maybe it's just like a strained muscle or something. But he's been pretty solid for us out of the bullpen. Not as much of a positive WAR as I would have expected. He's been very reliable for us to bring out of the pen, though. But again, we got some arms, though, that we can bring up. And again, we got, in September you get depth with the additional roster spot that's available. All right, game 2 of this series, a Friday night. We take a loss, 6-3. Baltimore came out hitting. They were up 4-2, and soon 6-2, and yeah, it's pretty much over at that point. Looks like Yoshida played in this game. I want to just take a quick look. They had him in left for that game. He did have a hit, double actually. So nice to see him put the bat on the ball. Crochet got roughed up in this one, which is a bit unfortunate. Bullpen pitched well, kind of kept us in it, but it was a little bit too late already for us to come back in that one, which is unfortunate. As you can see there, the 27 game score, pretty rough outing for Garrett. Game 3 of the series, 10-8, so the bats were alive. Yeah, this one was pretty much, honestly, it was more of just garbage time runs for them. We were up heavy in this game, really 9-1-ish or so at some points in this game. Holiday had a nice game for them, 4 for 5. 17 hits for them, 12 for us. Romy Gonzalez hits his 7th home run, but a lot of doubles. Casas with 2 doubles, Connor Wong with 2, Yoshida with 1. Kind of really early with a ton of run support, got us through 6 innings. Pitched well. Would have loved maybe a little bit better of a game score out of him, but still was pretty solid. And, 400 save in his career for Aroldis Chapman, so nice job out of him. His 33rd save of the year, so he's been excellent, really excellent. All right, what do we got? Yeah, strained oblique, kind of what I figured it would probably be, something like that. 3 days, nothing serious at all, so we can just keep him right there in the roster. No need to make a move. So here we are. We've taken the first 2 of 3. We got a chance to take 3 of 4. And we got a game save here on Sunday, September 6th. Oh, we lose a tough one. 1-0. They score a run, a walk-off home run in the bottom of the 9th off of Chapman. Just stinks. Sonny Gray pitched really well, threw a pile of pitches in 5 2/3. Crawford out of the pen pitched 2 1/3 perfect. And we brought in Chapman, and he gives up a home run to walk it off. So a little unfortunate that we couldn't squeak in some offense on that one. So it's a split with Baltimore. And we got the Angels coming into this series. Trout was hurt kind of even towards the trade deadline. Again, he wasn't willing to move anything from his stance to stay with them. Obviously, he's put up just a ridiculous year for them. It would have been nice to have maybe just to at least see if there was some sort of deal we could have made to get that guy. It would have been interesting, I think. And maybe something will even open up in the offseason. I mean, who knows? Maybe he'll be willing to be dealt down the road. The unfortunate thing, I say the unfortunate thing, but it's not like you got to play Trout in center. I mean, at this point in his career, is he better off probably playing a corner outfield spot? He probably would be from a health standpoint. Or even seeing if you could get him somewhere on the infield, maybe at first or something. But Rafaela's been just excellent for us. Taking a look at the WAR, sort by WAR here on our roster, and you can see he's at 3.8 WAR, so he's really had a really solid year. Offensively, he's been a plus player, and obviously you know what he does defensively in that center field spot. So, I mean, you can't really complain too much when we're getting him this year for $2.25 million, and next year is it's a really good contract for a number of years, and it looks like he's really panning out for us and is kind of finding a spot here in Boston. So this series, we're on a bit of a stretch here of just consistent games played. Really need that rest day, I would say. Nice to kind of have 2 rest days within 4 or 5 days there, so we can have really some focus into the stretch run. And this is even nice when you have that kind of additional few roster spots, because we're in a stretch of playing quite a few games in a row. As you can see, the last day we had off was the 27th of August, and we're now heading into the 7th of September. So it's been a bit of a run here. So first game against, and just talking about Rafaela, he gets nicked here. A day-to-day injury, groin tightness, moderate effect, recovery 5 days. So nothing, long term of concern there. Now that injury, though, something of that piece, if you aggravate that, could only get worse. So I'm thinking now, we just played this first game. It looks like we won this game 10-6, which is excellent. But I think now what we can do, especially for this player, I'm gonna lock it. We're not gonna play him the next 2 days. So he's gonna get 2 days off plus a day of rest, and then hopefully at that point, if we play him into the weekend series, the risk of him at that point injuring it with a few rest days is much lower than if we try to push him out to finish off this series. So I'd much rather have, whatever we do from a lineup standpoint, which I'm assuming we'll just have Roman Anthony play center, is I'm willing to take that at this point. So we'll finish off that day. Let's just take a quick look at the box score. Trout goes deep. Oh, what's nice about this, I want to take a quick look at what Grayson did. What's nice is he got us depth, but gave up 3 home runs and 6 1/3. So he got roughed up, and we're at Fenway for this one, right? Yep. But at least it was nice that we had the offense that really showed up. He still got the win. Did not pitch, probably worthy of getting a win, but he did. And Weiser threw in this one, and Whitlock picked up his 5th save. So a bit of a rough start out of Grayson, but we were able to score some runs for him. And a nice 8-2 win, so this is excellent. What I would love is to finish off the series, sweep these guys. Let's just take care of business against a team that just has no interest in really winning in this year. Ranger Suarez picks up his 13th win in his first year in Fenway for the Bo Sox, so we love that. And let's finish off this series. And we lose the last game. A bit tough just to take 2 out of 3, but it's still a series win. If you take 2 out of 3 of every series, you're going to be in good shape. Crochet, again, just kind of back-to-back rough starts for him. Kind of sucks, really. I was kind of hoping he would. Now, we might have just rushed him back a bit. He didn't pitch much from the rehab assignment. So it could be my fault that we're just dealing with a little bit of rust right now for him. I want to take a quick look at his numbers. I want to look at just the major league numbers. And you can see August. He pitched really well in August. I think in one game I don't know if he had a complete game, but he pitched, again, really solid there in August. But you can see here the 2 first starts in September. It's not good. An 8.64 ERA. But those 2 starts that he had in August were superb. So, we gotta play him. He's our best player, best pitcher, I should say, for sure. And hopefully he can just figure it out between now and kind of the playoffs if we get to that point. So let's take a quick look. I just want to get through this off day as well. And then we got a weekend series against the Royals. So I think we'll play that as well. We'll get through the 14th. We'll take that day off, and then we'll close it out. We'll come back. We'll finish off the season, take a look at numbers of the season, and then we'll see what things look like for the playoffs. So we're at about 30 minutes on this episode now, so another couple minutes. That should be a relatively brief series. I just want to take a quick look at what we got going on. Early, Gray, and Rodriguez looks like the expected starters. And before we start the series, I just again want to take a quick look. Yeah, we're still holding pat. The Orioles are right on our heels for the wild card, but we got some what I would say now is a little bit of breathing room, I should say, because we got another, we're 2 games up on the Orioles, and if we fall to them, there's room between them and Toronto at this point. So we're in relatively good shape. Our magic number is 11, which isn't bad considering where we are in the season. That's a combination of other teams that we need to lose, and us picking up wins. So if we can get 5-6 wins between now and the end of the year, that should put us in a pretty good spot. And we got, 20 games left to play or so. Maybe not quite that many, but probably close to it. So I'm feeling pretty confident as to where we are right now. Tampa's already clinched a spot. The Yankees are a one magic number away from also clinching a spot, and then we're right on the heels there. Um, Nothing's been locked up yet. It looks like for the National League, other than some teams being eliminated, which kind of sucks for the Marlins and the Rockies. And I'm sure we got a few. Yep, the Angels are fully eliminated. No playoffs for you guys, but for us, we're closing in, which is very exciting. All right, so let's take on Kansas City, an 8-2 win. Love it. I love everything about it. We scored 5 runs in the bottom of the 8th. Wow. Story played in this one. Very interesting. 1 for 3 with 3 ribbies, a walk. Yeah, I still just don't know what to do with that guy for next year, but we'll probably figure that out later on. Rafaela with a double and a home run in this game, so he's back playing, which is good. And Connerly early, excellent start. 7 1/3, 3 hits, 8 Ks. Whitlock picks up the save, throwing an inning and 2/3. Another win, 5-2. So the pitching is just carrying us, with just allowing 4 runs in this series. Again, 4 runs in the 7th. They actually had the lead at that point, right? Yeah, they were up 2-1, and then we scored 4 in the 7th. So what I like about that is we got some, like, almost in a sense kind of explosive offense. Like, the runs coming in some bunches. I mean, the big blow was a 3-run home run by Tristan, his 19th of the year. I'd love for him to get, like, man, if he could get close to 25, I'm sure the 25 is a bit of a stretch number. But, man, like, the numbers he's put up in half a season. I just want to take a quick look at how many games has he played. Yeah, 76 games. So if you kind of would extrapolate this out, you double all these numbers. That's 40 home runs, 120. I mean, is he that type of power player? I mean, the 60 is potential. That's probably a potential 35, 40 home run potential. I'm just ecstatic. I'm so glad he's played well and been able to stay healthy. Now, we did have him at first base quite a bit, and what I kind of did is I made a move. I thought he was honestly probably the better first baseman between him and Contreras, but Contreras I think is actually a little bit better from a rating standpoint. So I kind of took off the 4-star at that position for Casas, and so that moved Contreras into that spot. And then what it also does is it platoons Casas a little bit. So against a lefty starter, I think our coach has him just not like he's not riding the pine in a sense. He's just not starting against the lefties, which you can't probably disagree with, because we already got 3 guys in the lineup that are lefties already, and it gives Story a bit of a burn. He probably hits lefties better anyway. If I take a quick look at his ratings, yeah, his basically every stat. I mean, it's really just the BABIP and the contact profile is better. His avoid Ks is a little better as well, but it's not astronomically better. But I'm sure Casas would struggle against a lefty starter. Obviously, the left on left is a bit of a struggle. But it's at least nice. I mean, I think it just gave us more flexibility, especially it gives a chance for Story to continue to get a little playing time and be somewhat happy, I would hope, by not just getting benched all the time. Let's just take a quick look at this fella. I don't think, looking at this, I mean, there's some power there, but what is he, 16 years old? There's nothing even from I don't know, there's just really nothing even from a personality profile that's like, keep this guy around. He's going to work hard. He's going to eke out every ounce of this potential. It's just not high enough for me to really be too concerned about it. Last game against Kansas City, let's sweep them if we can, and we'll get a day of rest on Monday for a travel day to head out to the road, and we do. Love it. So we're going to sim that game as well. Oh, no. Totally with a setback in his injury, which, I mean, I think it pretty much just reset it. It probably went from 4 months to back what it was in July when he got hurt to now it's just a reset of 4 months. But I don't I don't like anything about this at all. That it's just his recovery has basically just been fully reset. I don't like it. I just don't like it. Let's see what it says here. He will be missing additional time because of the setback in his recovery. It's a bit frustrating, sure. I want to be out in the field at the same time. I don't want to make things worse and miss more time because I'm pushing it too hard. Would not return for 4 months. I mean, it's not like he was going to pitch the rest of this year anyway. I just don't like it from, hey, is this going to continue to linger and just be a problem? Like the shoulder injuries, I'm not a big fan of, and nor is any person that loves baseball and wanting to see these young players perform well and develop. So that's a bit of a bummer, but it's not like it hurts us any more this year than what it would have anyway. He's going to be ready for spring training at this point, which is what we want him to focus on anyway. All right, let's take a quick look. Our magic number is down to 8. We have the Yankees now clinched as well, so they're going to be in the playoffs, and hopefully we can get potentially 2 more American League East teams to dominate the American League side of the playoff tree. Let's take a quick look at stats in September, and this is what we needed right now, to really close out August strong, to really turn around what those numbers were looking like early on, because it was not good there for a while in August. I think we were, 4-8 or 3-9 at some point. Like it was rough. To finish off that season or that month at 500 was a win in my book, and now for us to come out and being a +6 here in September is really promising, I think, for where we're trending. Let's take a quick look. I don't know if I looked at the box score for this last game, this 9-5 win. Looks like Trevor Story had a nice day. Yep, he was DH, so this was against a lefty starter. 2 for 3 with 2 ribbies, scored a couple of runs and had a walk, so he's on base a ton, which you'll love to see. Sogard played at short, Abreu led off. Yeah, just a nice day. A home run for Story, excellent. Abreu is 21st, Navarez, Contreras, so the long ball was at play quite a bit, and Grayson picked up a win. Didn't pitch awesome, but suitable. Again, he's been really good. I mean, I'm not going to complain at all thus far. What's funny though is he's 3-0 in this month in 3 starts with a 6.05 ERA. He's got a negative WAR. He's getting run support. So, hey, if you hand this guy the ball and the offense is like, hey, we're with Grayson. We picked this guy up. We're going to score runs for him. So you got to like it. And I still like his profile. I think he's got some good potential for us. I think, yeah, I like the stuff that he's got. He's got 4 good pitches and 26 years of age, big, tall, righty. Throws relatively hard, 96 to 98. Power pitcher, that's the kind of profile I want to aim at. And yeah, I've been happy. For us, he's been 5-3 with a 3.88 ERA. The home runs per 9 is a little high, but again, the card plays like it should at a 45 home run allowance. I think, again, if we can just get that BABIP potential for him to fully realize that, and I think he could take another step for us and be a good player. So again, I think that'll kind of pause us there as to where we are. We're basically halfway through this month. We got, these next couple of series are important for us. We do finish out the season right there on the 27th of September. So I really want us to play well against Texas. If we can win the series against Tampa, it'd be awesome. There's really nothing that they're playing for at this point. And then Cleveland, we just got to make sure we don't allow them to see any more light of day because they're making a run at that wild card spot. But we're sitting, what now? Was that 12 games above 500? So a nice solid spot for us. I'm happy as to where things are. The August little the dog days of summer got us. They were biting us really hard there, and the team was reeling, but we did rebound from that. So I'm pretty happy. I want to take a look if I can just find where it is. I always forget where this thing lives. I know there's personnel at staff roles. Everyone's happy there at the staff roles. Where's the one for the team? I probably won't mess around and look for it too long to bore you guys to death. But here it is. Team chemistry. Ecstatic. Ooh, I like it. So everybody's getting along really well. Against with the team. Again, the coaching staff is happy, and the players are happy. So yeah, things are going well for us. So again, we'll pause it there. Appreciate you all tuning in, and we'll look to finish out the regular season in our next episode. Thanks all.